friends, for this week's media demonstration video, we're going to be using oil pastels to color in this cool giant. Whenever we use oil pastels, I recommend having a black Prismacolor pencil handy. These are better than the average black colored pencil, and you can get them at Michael's. You can buy just one of these pencils. You don't have to buy the whole set. If you already have a set of Prismacolor pencils, that's awesome. But if you don't, if you have regular colored pencils, those are really great. But for what we're going to use it for, this is really the right one to have. As you can see, it says Prismacolor in black right there. So one of these pencils is about $2. You can get them at Michael's. I highly recommend them. Also, guys, for this drawing today, we're going to be using oil pastel. There's all kinds of oil pastels out there, but this one I'm going to use Crayola. This is a perfectly good oil pastel set, and it's got 28 colors. It's a lot of really great colors there for us. And finally, the magnets. So there's lots of you in the magnet club now. So if you would like to receive a magnet, if you have not already, please like this video or share it with your friends. Those things are so important and so helpful. I will send you a magnet with a personal note saying thank you. But you have to make sure I know about it. So like you can tell me during class, your parents can email me. You can do something that just lets me know for sure. And if you do tell me during class, I will be glad to mail you one. Also, I can take your picture if you already have one, and you can join the magnet club, which is a fun little way to celebrate having a magnet. Anyway, so this giant is really cool. And so I have some extra things here I want to show you. I've got some scratch paper. So this is sort of a piece, like it's basically one piece of paper. I think it's been cut in half. This might just be one piece of it. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to have this handy for testing our colors. And I've got some paper towels today. It's really helpful to have your paper towels ready to go when it's time to do the mixing and the blending. So I'm going to just take this one sheet right here and I'm going to tear it into several pieces. Again, I'm doing this so that it's ready. It's always important to be ready ahead of time. So I've got my pencil on standby. I've got my paper towel. I've got my scratch paper. I'm ready to start. So I'm going to do some of this in just regular time, like I'm talking to you right now. And then I'm going to do a lot of it in time lapse. And then I'll come back and do a conclusion at the end. So for now, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, it's a mythical giant, guys, and this is based on a drawing that I did. I made this drawing, I think back in like, I don't even know. This is why you should always put the dates on things. I think I did this in 2015. I'm not entirely sure, but this is my drawing, and I know it's my drawing, but look, I did not sign it. I just put some weird marks on the back, but there's no date and there's no signature. So this is why you guys are supposed to write your name and date on there. You can see in this example, I've already put my initials and the date there. So it's already kind of like ready to go so that I can't forget again. So I'm going to start out with some brown. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be making a skin tone that is a mixture of this brown and this tan. And if you look at these two colors side by side, they're, you know, nice colors. Crayola does create a color that is called peach, so that's another option, but that's not necessarily always a skin tone for everybody. So, and this is a giant. We have no idea exactly, you know, where he's from or what color his skin is, but I can tell you that I'm going to do the shading with this brown color, and it's going to look really cool. So I'm just going to put this brown in a few places wherever the skin is. So he's got sleeves and he has these things over his hands. So really all we can see are his fingers and his face and a little bit of his ankles. And so I'm going to add a little bit of the shading color down here too. Now I'm going to pick up this sort of tannish color and I am going to go right over my brown. Okay. And I'm going to fill in the space like this. And so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a skin tone. And so I will work on this a little bit more. You can see what I'm talking about here. So oil pastel, sometimes people think, oh, I can't make it, you know, it's too thick to make it nice and neat, and it's not small enough to make the details, but that's just simply not true, my friends. you are able to get a lot of cool mixtures and blending going on here. And that is why we have that black colored pencil. And that black colored pencil is going to help us go back and get all of our Sharpie lines to stand out again, so that it does not need to be a small, delicate thing to color with, because we're going to use our black Prismacolor pencil, and we're going to use that to make our lines stand out. And so I'm going to do a little bit more of this later. I just wanted you to see while I'm talking about it. This black Prismacolor pencil pretty much almost works miracles, because it goes right through the oil pastel and it makes the Sharpie lines stand out really well. So it's really better to do this at the very end. I just wanted to show you what it looked like right now while I mentioned it. So I always imagine this guy is kind of having like a white or grayish beard, but you know what? It could be any color. So I think I'm going to have a little bit of fun today, and I'm going to make it kind of like an orangey, you know, color for fun. But I want to make sure I have some sort of dark shadow color here. So for me, I think this is a good shadow color. So this might seem strange to see the shadow in this darker color, but it's going to mix with the orange and it's going to look really cool. So this will give you an idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just do a little bit more here, and then I'm going to go into time lapse. So I just want you to see what I mean. So just like I did with the brown, I've taken this color and I've created some shadow colors. I'm going to go over now with this sort of medium orange, and I'm just going to go over this a little bit more. But you'll notice I'm leaving some white spaces because I'm going to go back in there with a third color, an even lighter color, and it's going to mix it all together, and it's just going to look cool. For some reason, this guy's kind of got an interesting Viking hat on. I think that's why I was thinking about making his hair kind of a flame, sort of a orangish red color. And that is called using your imagination, folks. I don't know if there's anyone that really ever looked like this, but it's entertaining to me, and that's what art's supposed to be about for you, for each person making art. You want it to tell a little bit of a story, get people's attention. You want it to make people kind of think about it when they look at it and they're like, huh, that's pretty cool. I wonder what that's all about. And that, my friends, is the secret of really good art, is when it makes you ask questions and it makes you think. So this is a good example. I'm really enjoying this color here. I hope you guys like it. I'm just sort of mixing it in now, getting all up in there. It's cool looking, isn't it? All right, so we are off to a great start. I'm going to do the rest of this in time lapse. I'll come back and do a conclusion. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, so that was quite a bit of work, and but it was really cool, and I like the way it turned out. You know, you can always kind of fiddle with things and change things up a little bit. Sometimes it's good to, you know, work on it and walk away and come back and look at it again and say, what is it that I need to do? And so I can see a few things here that I want to do. I want to add just a little bit more oil pastel in a few places. And so these are things that, you know, only you can tell what you need to do for your drawing. So, but I always recommend that you just kind of like take your time. You need to look again, and just every time you kind of look at your drawing again, you'll have like a fresh, set pair of eyes. You know what I mean? It just gives you a time to think about it and decide if you want to change it up. If you don't, it's fine. So you probably saw in the time lapse I had all my little paper towel things ready, and you see why I did that, because now I've used all of these guys. And so that way they're ready to go when I'm ready. And you probably noticed that I had to sharpen my pencil a couple times as well, and I've got my handy dandy pencil sharpener here, but you can use whatever manual sharpener you have as well. But I think that's it for today, guys. It turned out really cool. He looks interesting. I like this drawing. It's fun to draw. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. I'll just see you next time, friends.